people, my name is Sanaa and welcome to Food.Glam.Life. This is a very special moment right now because the very first video, actually not the very first video, but the very first how-to of Food.Glam.Life is about to go on air right now, as in this very one, and I am really excited. As you could see from the title, we're going to be doing a recipe. It's going to be chicken makhni, also lovingly known as butter chicken. It is an original recipe. It's something that I learned from my sister over 10 years ago. I do want to give a disclaimer before I get into it. It's probably unnecessary, but I just want to say it because I think there are going to be certain purists out there who will be like, oh, this is not original, or you know, they want you to sort of grind your own spices, and unless you put all of those things by yourself, it's not considered a recipe or something like that. I mean, I've heard people talking like that. So I just wanted to say that this does use certain prepackaged masalas, and you know, Shan, National, Lizzie, I don't know, there are a whole bunch of others, and there are also Indian masalas too. So if you can find anything that's similar, otherwise you can just, you know, sort of Google what the ingredients in that are and use your own spices. If you do want to do that, that's your call. The trick to using those masalas though is that don't read the back. Discard that information because they have no idea what they're talking about. They want you to put the entire packet of masala into one dish, and that is going to ruin your meal. I don't know, certain people like it. I don't think that works. I never follow what they say on the back. You can use it as a guide, but do whatever you want as your own. In fact, anything that's related to cooking, maybe not baking, but cooking, use it as a guide. Like, you know, you can season as much or as little. It's according to your tastes. There's no hard and fast rule regarding that. So they also use yogurt in the butter chicken, in their butter chicken recipe. I don't think that would taste any good. You know, I use a mixture of different masalas. So again, all my recipes I feel are just guides, because I always eyeball, you know, andaza, like I always eyeball recipes. That's what I learned from my mom. And you probably have the same thing. No one really puts exact quantities. If it's not spicy enough for you, or it's too spicy, or any of that, like it's too salty or not enough, you can adjust that. I know I'm rambling. Please forgive me. It's my first video. Hopefully it'll get better. Also, make sure to subscribe so that you find out about my next video. It's going to be a beauty tutorial on this look, if you like it. It's basically a bold lip, which I've done with this fuchsia magenta lipstick and sort of a glowy skin kind of look. And yeah, so make sure you watch that. The recipe that we're going to be discussing next, it will be linked in the Ghee Shakar blog. So if you want to refer back to that, I will be linking it down below. And I really would love to have you comment and let me know, either on Facebook here, wherever, if you like the recipe, if you tried it, how it turned out, and what else you would like to learn next. So yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get started with chicken makhni. So to start out, we're going to dice a medium-sized onion, as you can see, into little pieces. And we have 500 grams of chicken and 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We're going to put the unsalted butter in the pot over a medium flame, and to that we will add just a little bit of oil so that the butter doesn't burn or start smoking up too much. I'm going to stir that around and add the chicken into the butter to saute. So I'm going to mix it around, and the goal is to get the pink to turn white. So this will just take a few minutes So as you can see, the chicken is done. We're going to remove it from the pot and put it aside for now. And in that liquid, we're going to add another tablespoon of butter. This will sort of deglaze the chicken liquid sort of stuff that came out. I'm going to add the onions that we chopped earlier into this butter and try to make it a little golden brown, at least get them translucent. Also, I added a splash of oil into that again. Once the onions are done, we're going to add in our garlic and ginger. So cook that a bit because you're going to add the chicken back into this. And after that, we'll be adding the masalas. So here's the butter chicken masala. This is the chicken tandoori masala. And then there's chicken tikka masala. And the chicken tikka and tandoori masala are optional. You can add both, either, etc. I like to add both. I also have a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper or lal mirch, and then half a teaspoon of Kashmiri lal mirch, or you can use paprika, and then a teaspoon of salt. So you'll add that into the chicken, and again give it a good stir and coat all of the chicken with this masala. To this, I'll be adding 2 to 3 teaspoons, heaped teaspoons of tomato paste, and again give it a good stir. And I will be adding some water to it. Now with the water, you'll just need to see if it's too dry, you add a little bit more water. If it's too liquidy, you can let it dry out or not add as much water. So just enough to cook the chicken and the masalas and everything, the whole gravy together. So as you can see, I've been adding a little bit more water. So while that's covered and cooking, I took my cashew nuts and I put them in a mortar and pestle and just kind of ground them up. They don't have to be extremely fine. This part, of course, is optional, but I would really recommend it if you have cashew nuts on hand because it just gives an extra dimension to the flavor. So you're just going to take those ground up cashew nuts and add them to your chicken gravy that you were cooking. Now here comes the most indulgent part of this dish, which is the half cream and the half milk. Make sure to give it a good mix before you add it into the chicken. Of course, this is not something you're going to be making on a weekly basis unless you want to become a heart patient. So yes, this is a lot, but it's for treat time, right? It will look very light in the beginning, but you're going to sort of cook it and also check for the seasoning. I did add my half teaspoons here and there of things that I felt needed to be amped up a bit. So again, you cover it and let it cook a bit, and as you can see, the color has changed, and we're going to add the remaining tablespoon of butter into this and give it a good stir. And that's pretty much it. Now we are ready to plate this yummy goodness.